Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Hey, We're Talking. You know it's Friday because if you're watching on YouTube, Bob has got the white T-shirt on. Everything is going down when the white T-shirt is on. Woo!
It just got a little too hot in here. Had to take the overshirt off.
The fly made it, though, all the way to Friday. Did not get dead. All right.
No.
I am Scotty D, the host of this here program, and I've got two co-hosts with me. One being Mr. Derek Tant. He just waved.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then Mr. Bob Peel. He's smoking and trying to hit a fly.
Yep. Thanks for having me on your show.
How is it my show?
I just said that. Sorry. I was distracted by a fly.
You guys told me to say I'm the host and you guys are the co-hosts.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what they do to me. When the show is not on, they berate me, they call me names, they tell me what I can and can't say on the show.
Yeah.
They told Bob actually threatened before we started the show that he would leave the show if I said something. One thing in particular. He said he would leave the show.
Yeah. We run a tight ship here, right, Derek?
We do, I guess. I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't even know anymore.
Thanks for backing me up, buddy.
What are the rules? Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. You'll leave
I'm
the
with
show
you.
if we'll form our own show.
Oh.
Hey, we're chatting.
No, it'd be the DB show. That's it.
Really? The DB,
DB
show?
Yeah. Derek.
Yeah.
And Bob.
Okay. Interesting.
Unless we fire Derek, and then it could be the BS show.
Yeah.
Pow! I like that. Sounds better. But I don't want to fire Derek.
Or we
Oh,
go-
for the love of God.
Sorry.
Oh, Derek. We're live.
Sorry, man.
It's okay.
That's one of the rules of the show. Silence your cell phone before entering the movie.
But nobody ever calls me, so how am I supposed to remember that?
That's okay. It was fun. Anyway, now we know what ringtone he uses.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Default.
He is a big fan of default.
Yeah. Why do they name that default? Gosh.
All right. So this week we have been talking about, kind of incarceration and death row. And today, on Friday, I thought we'd do the top 5, and they won't be 5 of them, but we always say that. Top 5 prison escapes. I found 2 different things that I kind of looked at for this. One of them was mostly prison escapes that have happened in the U.S., which I think are pretty interesting. But there was another one that a lot of people will know about that had a little bit of an international flair to it. Yeah, Bob.
I have to interrupt you, Scott. It's pronounced escape, not ex-scape. Okay? Thank you.
Well, I know I didn't say escape. So I always like when people tell me they've got a Ford Escape. Hey, I got that new Ford Escape. Oh, you did, huh? Interesting. I really am a big fan of those Ford Escapes.
I actually have one of those.
No, you don't. You have a Ford Escape.
He sits in his ex-scape and drinks espresso.
Just think of it as an escape. That's a good way to remember it. Just like espresso.
An agave. Sorry.
Sort of. Okay.
You know, we're really not even going to talk about the subject. We're
Oh,
probably
I
just
am.
gonna talk about,
I'm
probably just gonna
prepared.
talk about Shawshank Redemption or something.
That, you know what? If that wasn't, it's not a true story from what I remember. So if that was a true story, we would have talked about it for sure.
Dude, Shawshank?
Yeah,
It's a great documentary.
it's not real though. It didn't actually happen.
It's not a documentary? I
No.
thought it was like a...
No,
Oh.
no, you're being funny. I'm glad. I enjoy your humorous side. But we are going to talk about one that was a pretty popular movie. I'm sure Bob did not see the movie, but we'll talk about it. All right. These are in no particular order. But one of the ones that comes up right away is John Dillinger.
In the wooden gun.
In the, say it again?
In the wooden gun.
Yeah. It was 1934. He escaped from prison. And they've actually got him like standing in this picture with the Lake County prosecutor. Like they're just buddy it up. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's pretty interesting. He escaped from Crown Point, the jail at Crown Point. And of course, everybody knows about Alcatraz. There were 3 guys who escaped Alcatraz, never to be found again, from what I remember. Derek, you'll probably be able to tell me if that's true or not.
Probably because
Yeah, that was the thing. There was a Clint Eastwood movie about it.
They've never determined if they lived or died. There was 3 guys: Clarence Anglin, John Anglin, and Frank Morris. Supposedly they got away on an inflatable raft. Now, if you're a fan of the show Mythbusters, those guys did a recreation of that. And people, if you've never been to San Francisco, it would be hard to picture this, but where they escaped from, the water is like first of all, it's very dangerous. It's the ocean. It's a bay, and it's like got sharks, and it's crazy, crazy, crazy. So the idea that they made it all the way across and got away, a lot of people believe they died trying to escape.
Is it not just water, Scott? I mean, it's water. It's not like battery acid, is it?
It's almost like when you were a little kid and you played the floor was lava and you had to jump from stuff to make sure you made it across. That was what it was like. Now, my favorite one here, you guys aren't really commenting on them, so I'm just going to keep going. My favorite one.
I just made a comment.
You did. That's true. I take that back, Derek.
Sorry,
you really did. Have you seen the movie Catch Me If You Can, Derek?
Yeah.
Great film. Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a Steven Spielberg movie. Tom Hanks is in it as well. Catch Me If You Can is based on a guy by the name of Frank Abagnale. And he went around and pretended he was a pilot and just would get on planes and fly and do stuff. He did a lot of like check cashing and writing fake checks to get money and stuff like that. But he escaped.
Yeah, huge pioneer in check fraud.
Yeah, he escaped from marshals and stuff like that numerous times. One of the times what he did was when he was in prison, he told the guards that he was a prison inspector, and they let him out and they let him go. So they had captured him. He convinced these guys that he was there to inspect the prison, and they let him loose, if you can believe it. So they made a movie out of this called Catch Me If You Can. It came out in December 16 of 2002. Very good movie. If you have not seen it, I would highly recommend it.
I'll like to watch that one. Sounds interesting.
It's really good. There's a couple of recent ones. In 2015, these guys, I believe it was in New York State. Yeah. They escaped through some pipes, and somebody actually, one of the guards gave them the tools to cut this pipe open, and they were able to get out. But they were caught almost immediately. It didn't take very long. In fact, one of the guys was shot by a police officer and died, and the other guy lived. Okay, but the one that I wanted to talk about, go ahead.
Okay. You guys aren't commenting, but the host of the show is not pausing for anything. Take a breath, Scott. I remember that story with the New York escape. Does that really count as an escape if the guards are like basically organizing that for you? Does that really count?
I mean, you still escaped one way or another by getting these guards to, be in on it together.
It's true. They did.
Yeah, but it's not like you're the one that, tunneled through the walls and came up with your own plan. You're
create like a TV show about that.
They should. You could call it Prison Break.
Ooh, good name. We're gonna do that.
Yeah. So those guys, Derek, I agree. I mean, they got help from the inside. That's a little different. If you have outside help, that's different. If you got a guy on the inside helping you, well, I guess, if you can get the guy to help you out.
That's pretty good, man.
I mean, that's pretty, you're pretty amazing if you can do that. There's a...
there's a difference between escaping from jail and having someone bust you out. That's...
Well, they broke themselves out of prison. They just got the tools from someone to do it.
Was that the one with the woman that gave him the tools?
No,
There was one years ago where a woman was giving the inmate tools, and then the inmate escaped. Maybe it was. There was the one with the. There was one with like a 19-year-old.
Yeah, you're right. It was Joyce. Joyce Mitchell tearfully pleaded guilty on July 28th.
Yeah,
she gave them power tools to get out.
Yeah, brought them in. They were able to get out after that, which was just crazy.
The picture. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Derek. I keep talking over you.
I'm just saying that's straight out of an episode of the Three Stooges. A woman brought them power tools to escape from prison. That was in a Three Stooges episode. Write it down.
I bet it wasn't power tools though for them, was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. They had a drill. It was a bit that they were doing because Moe's got the drill against the wall and it's like shaking him. So Larry's like right on top of him to help steady it, and then Curly's on top of him to help steady it, and it's a very visual treat. Them trying to drill through this wall.
But sometimes I think about the fact that there will be there's people like in their 20s that don't know who the Three Stooges are. I bet. Don't you think?
I don't know. No, there was a recent feature film
renaissance
about. Yeah, the Stooges are timeless, bro.
They are, dude.
Yeah, they should be around forever.
They should be. All right, here's the one. You guys are gonna know this one, but it's a Mexican drug lord, El Chapo.
El Chapo.
Yes, dude. His story is amazing. He escaped a high security prison the first time in a laundry cart. Okay, he was out 13 years. Nobody knew where he was. They couldn't find him. Then they caught him again. So he's back in prison, and he goes to take a shower, and his people, because he's a drug lord, made a tunnel, and this is legit tunnel to the shower where he took showers. He just dipped down, got in the thing. It had a little track on it and stuff because they had been using basically this small motorcycle to carry out the dirt that they were cutting through to get to him, and he got away again. I don't know how. I mean, think about how long that would have taken.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
That's loyalty, though.
Now, does that count as an escape, Derek?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you've got him and his people, the bad guys, versus the good guys, the guards, the government. If the good guys are helping, then they're just breaking you out.
And then he got caught again after that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Die?
No. The tunnel, by the way, was more than a mile long, and it was under a half-built house. Then he ended up doing an interview with Sean Penn.
Really?
And actress Kate Del Castillo, and then he was captured in January. Isn't that unbelievable?
He loves the limelight.
Sean Penn. What's going on with that guy? He always likes to go visit these people.
I mean, isn't that the same as Dennis Rodman going over to Korea to hang out with?
Yeah, but there's part of you that goes, okay, Sean Penn, Dennis Rodman, which one's going to score a little higher on that IQ test? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Dennis Rodman, who knows? What is he thinking? Going to see Kim Jong, what is he, Un? Is he Un or In? What's the
yeah,
Kim Jong Un?
I'm sure that was I think that was 5 years ago.
No. He just did it again recently because he said he wanted to help Trump. And I was like, dude, don't go back. Please stop. Just stop. Dennis, stop.
Especially considering the fact that Dennis Rodman breaks every rule that government had just by going over there, because there's not a lot of phones, there's not a lot of whole bunch of stuff. So that piece of it's just crazy. And Scott, I will forward you a picture of they built a little model of the prison and the how far they dug underground and all that stuff. I'll send you that so we can put it up.
That's good. There's one other one that I saw that was kind of interesting that I'd never heard about before. There's a guy in France. His name, let's see, his name is Pascal Payet.
He did a little dance, didn't he?
Yeah, totally. No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he escaped prison more than once by helicopter. People flew a helicopter over the prison. He got onto it or into it somehow, flew away, but he gets caught. He gets caught all the time. His wife or the woman that he was going out with learned to fly a helicopter just so she could get him out of the prison. Talk about love, huh? Huh?
Talk about balls.
That lady's got some big balls.
I do like the Frank Abagnale thing, you know, just this idea of just having so much confidence, posing as somebody, and selling it, just selling it.
Yeah.
You know? Think about like if you're at work or somebody comes around with a clipboard and they're doing something, how often are you like, excuse me, who are you? If they look like they belong and they're doing official business. Like we have a guy at work who comes in like every month who sprays for, you know, it's like the Orkin man. He sprays for bugs, the pest control guy. And I never asked him for paperwork. I just know he's there. But he walks up behind the nurse's station. He goes all over the place. I'm like, maybe I should be checking this guy. Maybe he's like an escaped prisoner.
I know. Maybe
drugs. The drug dealer.
Yeah. I actually was
maybe it's El Chapo.
It could be El Chapo. I actually was driving through the neighborhood today, and I just saw this guy. Like, you ever just like you're driving through your neighborhood and you see somebody and you're like, that guy just does not look like. What is he doing? This dude got out of his pickup truck. He parked it the wrong way on the street, first of all, and kind of cockeyed. And he gets out, no shirt on, and he just kind of starts walking into the person's yard and stuff. And I'm like, is he supposed to be here? That's the ones that you think to yourself, like later if you hear on the news, like family of 4 slain by man with no shirt. You go, man, I really screwed up.
Yeah. I really don't like getting tickets for parking on the wrong side of the road. That happened to me once. That really.
The fact that that's what you're getting out of that story is the best thing ever. You're just like, yeah, that was such a great reaction.
I was visiting Uncle Alan in Houston, and you know, narrow neighborhood, and I was just parking on the street, and I got a $40 traffic ticket because I was parked in the wrong direction. Who cares? They do.
Yeah, they do.
Pay it, 'cause if not, you've got a warrant.
Yeah. Did you pay for it?
I paid.
Of course.
I paid it.
Here's the thing. There are so many people that don't know some of these very basic. I'm amazed how many people do park the wrong way on a street. Just like really basic stuff. You know, when I was growing up, I was always taught if you had, when you parked in the driveway, if you had sidewalk and then another piece of driveway before you go into the main street, you were not...
The easement?
Yeah, you were not supposed to park over the sidewalk. My dad always told me you could get in trouble for that, and I'm like, no, you can't. I never got a ticket for it, but what I'm saying is, I bet you there's some law somewhere that's like, if you're parked over the sidewalk, we can give you a ticket. And I get it because people they want to be able to walk on the sidewalk, you know?
Well, see, out here, I don't care because my sidewalk is basically just grass. It's all broken up concrete, and they won't replace it.
Don't they make you replace it?
Well, they said they would. They'd pay for half.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to pay for half of it. I'll just rip the sidewalk out and grow grass. I don't care.
Wow. Man, look at him.
I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars to get stupid concrete there.
What are we going to do when Bob is in jail for not putting in a new sidewalk? How are we going to bust him out?
Yeah, that's what you guys got to start thinking of. Well, see, I have Statesville Correctional Facility, one of the largest prisons here in Illinois, like, I don't know, a 5-minute drive from me.
It's one from the Blues Brothers, right?
I have that one too. So we're called Prison City because we've got three prisons. We've got three prisons. One of them shut down, which was the Blues Brothers busted out of. One of them's still active. It's Illinois', I think, largest facility. And then there's a juvenile detention center halfway across town as well. So, but I've had it to where we've had helicopters flying above because somebody escaped.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, That's crazy times. That's when you lock everything up, man, and stay inside.
Two things. 2 points. First of all, the Blues Brothers never escaped from
Nope.
prison. Jake was released at the beginning of the film, and then they were just placed in prison at the end.
Yeah.
And second, if Bob was ever in prison, I would send him a poster of Rita Hayworth, and I would give him a rock hammer,
and we just let him do his business from there.
Let him spend 19 years ex-scaping.
We lived in a town also when we lived in Ohio that had two prisons. Well, it had two prisons. And it used to just be a women's prison, and then they made it a co-ed prison, except for they weren't mixed, obviously. But one side of it was men and one side was women. It was for people with drug offenses. And we did get those little... They actually call your house if someone escapes. And we got the phone call quite a few times while we lived there. It was pretty fun. They always caught them, though. That's the thing. Don't run. They always get you. Except for if you're El Chapo or Frank Abagnale. Abagnale? Is that it?
Yeah. He later, I think, went on to become a consultant with the FBI.
Yep.
Because he was a pioneer in check cashing fraud and.
Yep. He was really good
like
at it.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to wrap it up. I feel like we've talked about enough of escaping prisons and.
No more prison talk.
No, that was the last time we're going to talk about prison.
Maybe. Unless there's a big escape.
If there is a big escape, we might talk about prison again, yes.
Yep. Big escape.
I'm still not going to say that word because I don't want you to quit the show.
Espresso.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, who tolerated our shenanigans yet again this week. We're on YouTube and Facebook and iTunes and Podbean and HeyWe'reTalking.com and occasionally Twitter. Follow all of us on our various media outlets, and thank you again for watching. See you next week.